Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm a legitimate film reviewer, and I'm going to be the first person on earth to review every single movie ever made in alphabetical order. And today, I have a mysterious bruise on the side of my nose that I can't explain, and I'm going to be reviewing two films. So if you look at my spreadsheet that I'm going through, this is the first episode of season 2, and I recently upgraded the list that I was going through, so there's going to be a lot more movies that start with a 2 than there were that start with a 1. So let's just get cracking, we've got plenty of movies to do. Movie number 1 for today is called 2 a.m. in the Subway, and it came out in 1905. So the oldest movie I've ever reviewed. And it's a film by Billy Bitzer, I believe. Now, he was a pretty legendary cinematographer in the first ever days of Hollywood. He was, if his Wikipedia page is to be believed, he did the first ever close-up, first ever fade, the first ever use of indoor lighting, you know, the iris zoom in and out. He basically invented so much crazy shit, and he also worked with the legendary racist white supremacist director D.W. Griffith on such films as The Birth of a Nation, or A Birth of the Nation, whatever it's called, the fucking KKK one that I haven't seen, but that's a shame. But aside from that, it looks like he did some pretty insane cinema stuff back in his day. I really like this sentence on his Wikipedia page. For all his innovation, Bitzer did not survive the industry's transition to sound, and in 1944, he suffered a heart attack and died in Hollywood. It's like, whoa, you couldn't invent your way out of getting a heart attack, you fucker. Like, what does that even mean? Anyway, 2 a.m. in the Subway is a 1-minute film, and it was seen as like a peep show type thing. Like, there were these little machines that you'd go up to, they were coin operated, and they were usually pretty racy in their subject matter, so they were called shit like, you know, What the Butler Saw or something, because it was called a peep show, you know what those are, right? So you'd go up, put your coin in the slot, put your head up to the little window and start turning the crank, and then I guess you could also be cranking it with your other hand as well while you're watching, because, but this one we're reviewing today is not one of the racier ones. It's just sort of some hijinks going on, and you're just sort of witnessing it, and you're like, whoa. So that's what it's like, 2 a.m. in the Subway. At the time this movie came out, the New York subway where it was set was only 1 year old. Isn't that interesting? And this film is actually on YouTube, and it's in the public domain, I guess. So I thought, why don't we do like a live reaction, and we can watch it together. So here it is. Let's take a little look. Thank you, American Library of Congress, for my, oh, here we go, it's starting. Look, he's so sleepy because it's 2 a.m. I think I'll take a sit down. Oh, who are these rowdy ragamuffins? Holy shit, they're causing a tumultuous uproar in the subway station. And now they're squabbling and shoving each other about. What a merry goings-on this film is. And now there's some guy with a big bag, and I guess that's meant to be the train he's getting on. These women are like looking at each other's feet or something. And he's like, hey, you can't look at a fucking foot here, you bastard. And he grabs him by the shoulder. And he's like, hey, buddy, see here, And then her feet come out the fucking window. This movie's insane. And he's like, hey, she can't do that, you harlot. And then he runs in there. Get these bitches out. Sorry, that's not very nice. I shouldn't have said bitches. Now they're, oh, look, the feet were fake the whole time, and that's the end of the film. So what did you think, everyone? I'm a little stumped, to be honest. I don't really know what the fuck that was. Billy Bitzer might have been some kind of cinematographer genius, but movies kind of suck. But I have to give it a number review because that's just the way I do things. So I think I'm going to give this film a rating of 4 out of 4 stars because I think that's funny. Alright, so our second film for today is called 2 Below Zero, and this is an ultra low budget film which was written, scored by, and starring this guy called Pennan Brae, who's a musician. Pennan Brae stars as a writer called Rusty, and Rusty lives all alone in his caravan in the middle of nowhere, And he's not actually alone because he lives with his mannequin wife, Alice. He seems pretty content with his life, living away from civilization. Like, we don't even see him be that sad or that conflicted. He's just like, hey, Alice, what's up? And we sort of believe that he's actually in a happy relationship with his mannequin. That is until one day he goes to the general store, and these three women that are apparently just always hanging out outside the general store, they take notice of Rusty, and they immediately start lusting after him for some reason. So this is something I'm unsure of. They're like talking about him like he's some amazingly attractive guy. So is that meant to be a joke or not? Because this guy wrote this movie, right? Is he actually saying he's attractive, or is it meant to be like ironic that they're lusting after this guy who looks like this? Is that the joke or not? I honestly have no idea. It could go either way. But this movie isn't very funny, so if that was meant to be a joke, then it flew under the radar for me. Anyway, so they're obsessed with this guy, even though he's not really that interesting, and their obsession quickly turns into like stalking and like harassment and bullying. Basically, they're obsessed with finding out what this guy's deal is, and they're sort of the comic relief for this movie. And these three actresses, their talents do not lie in comedy, let me tell you. Their scenes are pretty annoying. They kind of try and do a Three Stooges thing, like there's the stupid one, and then there's the bossy one who's in charge, and then the third one, her joke is that she says, just like my ex, all the time. Like, whoa, he bought a hat, and then she's like, just like my ex. So I kind of almost liked this movie, the way it's shot, the way it portrays just this lonely man living in the middle of nowhere. It's like, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, and it's very short, it's like 50 minutes. But I just wish there was a bit more character development for this guy, because, like I said, he seems perfectly content to live here in the middle of nowhere until these women start showing up and pissing him off. He's like, just living his own life. The three women soon discover that he lives with a mannequin wife because his real wife left him at the altar. She gave him an ultimatum where he had to stop writing constantly or leave her. And he didn't want to give up his writing because he's obsessed with writing constantly. So that's hence the mannequin wife. So he's shown writing in basically all the scenes he's in. He's sort of a voracious writer, which is ironic because this movie didn't have a very good writer. And whenever he reads out his writing, it's like, oh, okay.
The unwavering flock of geese, aligned perfectly in a vector, soared majestically, like winged sentinels above the foreboding ice-capped mountains.
But, you know, I couldn't completely hate this movie because, unlike some of the complete shit that I've reviewed on this channel, you can tell it was made by someone with a vision. Like, he had this idea, he made it happen all by himself, pretty much, with almost no money. And I definitely get the sense that this was his creation, you know, he really wanted to make this film. And he did, and I watched it. You know how musicians are, like they do music, but then they have their other weird ideas. These ideas usually suck, but they can kind of get away with making them because they have money. So the stalking, bullying, and harassment that these women are doing against this poor lonely man finally comes to a head when they sort of have these wacky over-the-top action sequences, which are pretty weird. Like, what is this? Who is this movie for? It feels like a kid's thing almost, but it's not. So I don't know why the movie would end this way, but that's when we get our only real bit of like change in his character, when he sort of reflects on his failed relationship finally. But it's like too little too late, and then the movie ends immediately. It's only 50 minutes long, so even though it felt like there was filler in this thing, it also felt like it ended really abruptly. I didn't really get the closure on this guy's character that I wanted. You know, in a normal movie, he would like go back to his wife, or at least make an effort to reconnect with her, or at least acknowledge, you know, their doomed relationship, but it just ends, and you get like 8 minutes of wacky credits and outtakes, and so at least they had fun making this thing. So despite how unfunny this movie was when it was trying to be funny, I also detected quite a lot of heart in this film. You know, it had a lot of soul put into it. You can tell this guy was creatively passionate and he made this thing. So I can't completely hate it. It's still miles better than a lot of the movies I've reviewed on here, but it's still not a good movie. So I think I'm going to give Two Below Zero a score of 1.5 out of 4. But it's like an encouraging rating. It's like, you got this, man. You can do better, I know. So keep trying, Pennan Brae, if you're watching this. Maybe you are. That concludes the reviews for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Next week, we've got a pretty juicy, kind of really interesting and maybe challenging movie where I actually have to think about like themes and like issues and stuff. It's called 2x4, and it's about a construction worker who is in the closet or comes out of the closet or something. So I might have to pretend to be a serious actual film reviewer for a change. So make sure you tune in next week for that, because it's going to be a train wreck. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.